sticking with NFL though, Baker Mayfield has had a lot of choice words for his former coach, Hue Jackson.
Yeah.
Not necessarily sure where all the beef stems from. Don't know if there was some locker room stuff going on that we don't know about, but it just seems like, and I get it. I mean, Hue Jackson left Cleveland to go coach at or have some weird position at Cincinnati, which is kind of down the street and a rival. And Baker took some shots at him for it, but really like it seems like it's deeper than that. I don't know.
Now let's not say that he went and took a job over there. Hue Jackson got fired.
Right.
He got fired because he won what, 2 games, 1 game at that point. They won 1 game in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Cincinnati. He had to leave. When he got fired, he had to join a team so he could put food on his table.
Right.
Like I don't blame him for that. Now, Baker Mayfield is a competitor. That's the one thing I do know. I will say that about Baker. If you don't like his height, you don't like the way he plays. I know he can be kind of outlandish and flagrant. There you go. But, I mean, the dude plays hard, and he always has a chip on his shoulder. So, I mean, if that's what it took for him to play better against the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm all for it, especially since I had him on my fantasy team. Worked out. But my point is this. I think that just basically how they used Baker, not just Hue, but their offensive coordinator, because he also was let go at the same time. I feel that Baker felt like he wasn't able to do certain things. He wasn't able to maybe show his true talent. They ran vanilla offenses, kind of like, I don't think Hue wanted to get fired. I think Hue knew it was his time, and he didn't want to show a lot and have Baker just kind of run around and, be reckless with the ball. He just wanted to play vanilla and just kind of make it to the next year. Kind of like how Marvin Lewis has been doing for 16 years.
Right.
First of all, that's a joke. Let me talk about that. This man hasn't been a play. I mean, I understand Stephen A. Smith talks about this all the time. I'm not Stephen A. So I'm not even going to try to do all that. But honestly, think about it. I mean, 16 years this man's been playing. They haven't won 1 playoff game.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. Like, I don't get it. You wasted AJ Green's whole career. I'm sorry.
And what Cincinnati does that Cleveland is refusing to do by keeping him. Cleveland refuses to admit that its front office has problems too. And yes, Hue Jackson only won 2 games in 2.5 years or whatever the case may be. Y'all front office put him in a position to not win a lot of games too. So, like you said, he went to Cincinnati to put food on his table. He was ousted at Cleveland. It wasn't like, oh, I'm leaving Cleveland and I'm finna just, get a middle finger to Cleveland. No, he had to go somewhere, and Cincinnati offered him a job. He took a job. So again, I don't understand what Baker Mayfield's whole issue with Hue Jackson is. Like, was there, like, to me, it just seems like there was something else going on in a lot, like the way the shots that he's trying to take, like, seem a little bit more personal than just, oh, you play for a rival team now.
Right, yeah, and I think it must have been something in the locker room. We have no idea. But yeah, he definitely doesn't like him at all. It doesn't seem like the whole team didn't like him. I mean, a lot of times during that game, I mean, a lot of players, like when one of their players intercepted the ball and handed it to Hue on the sideline, Hue didn't even understand what he was doing. He thought it was a great thing, tapped him on the head, everything like that. But yeah, I mean, Cleveland got their big win for the season. Shouts out to them, I guess.
I guess it's probably whatever.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? The second win they have all year, third win maybe. I mean, that's cool.
Whatever.
But the crazy thing about this is though, Hue Jackson was on. I want to, maybe I get this wrong. He was on Cincinnati as an assistant coach, offensive coordinator. Then he went to Oakland to the Raiders, my team, and was 8-8. Then he got fired from there. Then he went back to Cincinnati. Then he went to the Browns, and then he went back to Cincinnati. And the whole time, Marvin Lewis was still coaching. Does that make any sense at all? Like,
not winning a playoff game.
And what makes it even more crazy is, like, they were like, if they do decide to find Marvin Lewis after 16 years, finally, they're going to look at Hue Jackson to be the replacement. What? Like, why would you even think about that? Like, You seriously just watched this man fail at every single spot he was at. To a point where you were in the same division and he was
It's all
one step
right. It's all right. It's all right.
and you're gonna
Cincinnati
hire
likes
him? Like,
they
what is
like
you?
they
I
they
if I
like
was,
mediocre. They like mediocrity in
that's not
Cincinnati.
mediocrity. That's openly trying to tank. They've been tanking for 20 years. How do you tank for 20 years and not
Listen,
develop anybody?
Hugh
Trust
Jackson.
what
Hugh
process?
Jackson knows how to get us the draft picks we need. All right.
Yeah, okay, to do what with? To run around and get exercise? That's cool. AJ Green must be. I don't even know what I would feel if I was AJ Green. Like, they
Oh
look.
my
I mean,
God.
think about this between Cleveland and Cincinnati. Do you think that's an 8-8 team?
No.
If they put their best players together, do you think
No.
they're gonna be 8-8?
Oh
Even make the playoffs. This is sad. 16 years and both of y'all do this. No wonder
oh
LeBron left, man.
man. Yeah. Ohio. Anyway. Um.
But you just let JR play a little bit. Let him play wide receiver. J.R. Smith to play a little bit of football, man. I mean,
J.R. Smith would play wide receiver and still tackle somebody because he thinks he's on the other side. Like,
yeah, it'll still be somebody making a play.
We on off. Oh,
It'll
all
still
right.
be somebody making a play. You know what I mean?